In this session, we are going to discuss about the most important topic, that is FinTech. What are financial technologies and what are these companies? How these companies are going to make a very huge impact in the Indian economy. So this is a very important session because this question can be directly asked in your mains, whether you are preparing for the state services group 1 or you are preparing for UPSC mains. So in the both of the aspects, this fintechs will play a very important role because 10 marks can be easily asked in this. What could be the reason? What is the reason behind such an evolution of the fintech companies, and why is the fintech company in news? See, what are first fintech companies? What are fintech companies? See, fintech is a combination. What is the combination? It is a combination of financial plus technology. So remember, in a simple words, it is a combination of financial plus the technology. So when both this combination is happening, the finance and technology, then we have certain organization which only considers financial technology and financial technology role. Now, other words, there are many responsibilities taken by this fintechs. See, basically fintechs, what are these fintechs? These are companies. Basically fintechs, basically these are the companies. So what are fintechs doing? I mean, they will take certain responsibilities. So what are those responsibilities the fintech companies will take? Any financial responsibilities. They will take any of the financial responsibilities. So what fintechs comprises of? It can take blockchain technology. Fintech can make payments. Fintech can exchange the goods with goods, services with services. Fintech can go for any research activity. Fintech can go for any digital money. For example, you have Paytm. Next, fintech can also go for online banking transactions, investments, overcrowding, or crowdfunding. All these are the characteristics of fintech companies. Recently, our Prime Minister of India has given a call stating that the fintech companies can take a very huge role. The fintech companies can take a very huge role from here on, keeping in mind that the fintech industries in India okay, convert themselves and try to bring a fintech revolution. So you are working very hard here to bring the fintech revolution. And what other aspects the fintech can take care of? Okay, what are the aspects the fintech can take care of, and what are your expectations from fintech? See, basically in India, most operations are performed by banks only. Most operations are performed by the banks. Banks are overburdened with work. Okay, banks are overburdened with the work. Now, certain responsibilities of these banks are given to certain companies. These companies are called as financial technological companies. Okay, for example, if you apply loan, if you apply a loan, And when you apply the loan, definitely loan has to be go through certain clearances. That means your paperwork needs to be done. So who clears this loan? Basically bank. All right. So bank will try to clear this loan, and in this case, the bank is overburdened with its regular responsibilities. The bank is overburdened with its regular responsibilities. So clearance and paperwork will be handed over to other company. Okay. These companies are the fintech companies. Financial technologies, they will try to clear the paperwork on behalf of the bank. And bank, what does it do? It will give certain commission to these fintech companies. Fintech companies' responsibilities are not only this, but there are many responsibilities of fintech companies. There are many responsibilities of fintech companies. One among them is clearances of loans. Okay. And most fintechs are involved in cashless transactions, robo advisors, and most of them issue virtual cards. Now, let me tell you what all the other responsibilities fintechs will take. What are the different types of fintechs we have in our country? So, what are the different types of fintechs we have in our country? You know, we have Paytm. What is Paytm doing? You and the business, that is consumer and the business, are connected with Paytm. Basically, these are cashless transactions. So what is Paytm here? Paytm is financial companies or financial technological companies. You must be knowing Bharat Pay, similar to Paytm. You have Razor Pay. All right. You have credit card clearances, pay through credit. All right. So these are the topmost. Okay. These are the topmost fintech companies in India. All right. These are the topmost fintech companies in India. Now you must be having little bit idea about what are the fintech companies. Now, what additional things you're expecting from the fintech companies? Remember, global investments, in the fintech sectors means throughout worldwide. Okay. Has been nearly $100 billion. Okay. Since 2010. Since 2010, it has gone to $100 billion. And in India, it is creating a very huge market. Fintech companies has a very huge market in India, like PhonePe, okay, like LaserPay, like Slice, like Cred, like Paytm, etc. And it all started with Kenya. It all started in African country, Kenya. Okay. Remember what used to happen in Kenya is In Kenya, we used to have a mobile based app. Okay, a mobile based app where people used to make transaction, okay, that is using M-Paisa. People used to make transaction that is using M-Paisa by making use of this phone. And how has this been useful in Kenya? See, in Kenya, migrants are very high. Migrants are very high, and to bring banks in every area, it is very difficult. So what you used to do, migrants people, they used to send some money to their family members. They used to use M-Paisa. M-Paisa as an app. Okay, what they used to do, they used to go to counter, as this fellow is standing there. Okay, they used to go to counter. In this counter, they used to give 1,000 rupees. Okay, and this is your family, and your family is going to get that money, and the family is going to contact this person, okay, in his own home place, and this counter will charge some commission, and this counter will also charge some commission, because you are staying here, your family is staying here, this fellow will contact this counter, and this fellow will contact this counter, and mobile transactions are happening here. Mobile transactions, from one mobile to other mobile, the transaction will take place. Okay, so all these concepts of payment banks in India, fintech responsibilities, all started with the basic of M-Paisa in the Kenya. Now there's also a concept of crowdfunding. Fintech companies are also taking responsibilities of this crowdfunding. For example, peer-to-peer lending. Peer-to-peer lending. That means there is a lender, there is a borrower. Is a lender and there is a borrower. So these two people have to interact. For example, lender, he needs 1 crore. Borrower, he needs 1 crore. So these two people are interacting, and I am giving one platform. This is called as peer-to-peer platform. So who is creating this platform? Fintech companies. All right. So fintech companies, what they will do, there's one type of fintech company. Paytm is one type of fintech company. You scan, you pay the money, etc. And this fintech company role, this is unique fintech company. It will just provide a platform where lender and borrower will interact, and their interactions will take place. 1 crore of money someone need, 1 crore of money someone will borrow. On this lending and borrowing activities, some interest rate will be charged. Who is getting this? Peer-to-peer platform. Who is maintaining this? This fintech company. Okay, crowdfunding, like this is some startup company. Okay, investors are attracted. Okay, and peer-to-peer lending will be done. Microcredits are also possible. Profits is been given. So everyone, like for example, even if you take any fintech company, every fintech company work for what? Profits. Okay, this is very, very important. Now, for example, if I consider a case like credit cards, for example, if I consider a case of credit cards, what is how is that fintech companies, how is that fintech companies work here? See, fintech companies, remember one preliminary point, fintech companies cannot issue credit cards. Fintech companies cannot issue credit card. Okay, they cannot issue direct credit card. That means a physical copy of credit cards or the hard copy. Physical format means what you'll place in your pocket. Physical format of credit cards will not be issued. For example, you have ICICI credit card in your pocket. Such kind of credit cards are not issued by fintech company. Okay. So for example, NBFCs, non-banking financial companies, okay, are also not allowed to issue credit cards. NBFCs, for example, you take Bajaj Finance. For example, you take Bajaj Finance. Bajaj Finance, Bajaj Finance cannot issue any credit card. Okay, Bajaj Finance cannot issue any direct credit card. But how Bajaj Finance can issue? They can tie up with bank. For example, they'll tie up with ICICI Bank, Axis Bank, and now Bajaj Finance can issue a credit card. Now, most important point here, NBFCs cannot issue direct credit cards. They need a support of the bank. This concept is called as co-lending. Remember, co-lending means bank and a non-bank. A non-bank is getting tie up with a bank. Okay, non-bank and banks are getting tie up and they can issue cards now. Because I'm not allowing FinTech companies to issue card. I'm not allowing NBFCs to issue cards. Okay, so remember these 2 points. Only in India, banks are allowed to issue this credit card system. Only banks are allowed to issue this credit card system. Now, let me tell you one very important point. Okay, virtual cards. Virtual cards. What do you mean by virtual cards? Virtual card means electronic cards. Virtual cards means electronic cards. So virtual cards are issued, okay, by the FinTech and NBFCs. FinTech companies can issue the e-cards, virtual cards. Okay, and remember, these are not credit cards. Because I told you, credit cards are not issued by FinTech companies. All right. So these are not credit cards, but FinTechs issue cards with credit line. FinTech issues card with a credit line. All right. So card with credit line means what? You make use of, see, you have a mobile phone. All right. You might be having an app. Within the app, you will get this virtual card. You make use of this virtual card for shopping. Okay. And you use it and you have some time period. You repay it, etc. And these virtual cards are just a credit line. Credit line means I'm just supporting you. I'm supporting you in few areas like online shopping. Okay, some purchases, online purchases, digital transactions. That's it. Very simple things I'm allowing you. And other important things like withdrawal. Other important things like withdrawal. I'm not allowing you to go for withdrawal. Other important things like international access. International access, I'm not allowing you. So these are very important for your prelims. Credit cards, all right, credit cards are not being issued in a physical format because these are not direct banks. They do not work under RBI Act 1934. So they are not allowed to issue credit cards. But if I consider NBFCs, NBFCs can issue credit cards with whom once they get tie up with the regular banks, they can issue the credit cards. But these fintech companies cannot issue, cannot issue physical format of the card. That means what is that they can only issue? They can issue electronic cards, which are called as credit lines. Withdrawal is not allowed, international access is not allowed, etc. So if I consider few other important areas, next. Now in India, the scope of this fintech is very high. At 2021, the fintech market in India, is around $31 billion. $31 billion. And by 2025, the market may go up to $150 billion. All right. So fintech scope is very high in India. Fintech also follows a very important model. What is that? CAC model. Fintech follows a very important model, which is called a CAC model, which is nothing but cost for acquiring customers. Okay, so cost for acquiring customers is one important type or model which the fintech companies take care of. See, cost for acquiring customer means, see, I'm running a fintech company. What I'll do, I will post many ads. All right, so I'll post many ads. So they post many ads. So what they will do with this ad, they are youngsters like you who get attracted towards this fintech. Okay, so fintech companies, they spend a lot of money, in the ads. See, they make use of a lot of celebrities like sports person, cinema stars, and they spend a lot of money in the market. For example, for phone pay, we have Alia Bhatt. Okay, we used to have Amir Khan. So what is this cost for acquiring customers? So banners. So this in India is very high. Remember, in India, the cost CSE is very, very high in India. Okay. And why it is very high? Because in order to attract more customers, you make more investments in the country. And one most important point here is 17 fintech companies in India. 17 fintech companies in India, has been declared as a unicorn status. 17 fintech companies in India has been declared as an unicorn status. Why? Because they have crossed a valuation of $1 billion. All right. Any fintech company which crosses a valuation means overall your returns, which crosses a valuation of $1 billion will be declared as an unicorn company or unicorn status. So how many are there in number? They are 17. Okay. Recently, Reserve Bank of India created a separate department because fintech companies are evolving more in number. So Reserve Bank of India created a separate department, that is Department of FinTech. Created a separate department, that is Department of FinTech, which will all regulate especially the financial technology companies. All right. So this is why the fintech companies are more promising, their number is very high. Okay, and what are the basic things, basic issues which fintech companies faces in our country? I mean, like, what made the fintech companies, okay, I mean, like, challenges faced by the fintech companies. First is the data, okay, and security issues. Okay, first one is the data security issues, that is the privacy. Okay, and we need to talk about regulations. Who are regulating them? Is it RBI regulates them completely, or you're also involving SEBI? Who is going to regulate? For example, if I take a fintech company which is taking care of banking, like phone pay, etc., then we can say this will be easily regulated by RBI, because this fintech companies can regulate by RBI. For example, if fintech company is talking about insurance, it is taking care of insurance, then who has to take care? RBI, SEBI, or IRDAI? IRDAI. Then if a fintech company, okay, is talking about some sort of peer-to-peer lending, then who will take care of this? Who is going to take care of this? Is this SBI? Is this RBI? Who is that one? Okay, next, this is the major issue of the fintech companies. So what are those fintech companies related issues, other issues? Now, industry wise issues, what are those industry wise issues? Are those fintech companies mostly into primary, secondary, or tertiary? Basically they are more into the service sector. So what we have to do, one more challenge is we should add them into other sectors also. All right, so that this could increase as supply chain management of financial services from one area to other area. All right, so you should remember the most important thing is what are the issues associated with them. They could be also a cases of cyber attacks, which you may can lose your data. Okay, and people should be educated. People should be educated to use these fintechs. So education awareness is very less. Okay, and government should also bring some data protection bill. This is one important point you can remember. Government should also bring the data protection, okay, bill, which is already brought in 2019. Okay, so this must be passed. Okay, so this is personal data. So what is the name of the bill? Personal data protection bill. So this must be passed. Once if it is passed, what happens? Your data would be very much saved. Okay, now what is the other things you can simply assign apart from challenges? See, absence of enabling regulations, 44.3%. And innovative business ideals and model, innovative things can be added only by this fintech. Okay, and innovation projects, new projects, primary, secondary. So you bring fintech. My advice is bring fintech, promote agriculture sector. There should be one fintech company like Swiggy, Zomato, etc., where farmers, okay, can directly buy seeds, can meet their daily requirements, or bring a fintech company which will give banking facilities to farmers. That means it will teach the scheme of the given by the government to the farmers. Okay, direct benefit direct benefit transfers to the farmers. All right. And along with this, it should also give some sort of subsidies to the farmers. How much government is benefiting, how much government is government is benefiting the farmers, etc. So such kind of benefits needs to be given. Okay, you bring such kind of fintechs in the agriculture. So how should you divide this answer? When you take fintech, see, don't 100% go to service sector, bring that into industrial sector, bring that to agriculture sector, allied activities, etc. Your answer looks so good if you could bring fintech in wider, because 90% fintechs contribute where service sector only. So you bring your answer to agriculture because scope in this is very high. Scope is very, very high here. Okay, so when the scope is very, very high, imagine that you can invest in agriculture sector, understanding the needs of the farmer. Okay, bring fintech which can help MSMEs, bring fintech which can educate women. Okay, loans to women, financial inclusion of women, homemade facilities to women, give that awareness, give that platform. So this is how you make this fintechs and make this fintech run in the country, and how the fintechs are working now. So fintechs completely work on the online mode. All right. So you should understand here what are the responsibilities of the fintech companies, how fintech companies are performing, and what are the importance of the fintech companies. Can they issue cards, etc. Not what is co-lending model, which is very important for you. Okay, why are not fintechs being allowed to issue? Because they are not under proper regulations. They cannot issue physical format. They can only give you a credit line. Okay, they can only give you a credit line, that's it. All right. And what is crowdfunding? Okay, and from where the model has been evolved. All right, and what are the different type of fintech companies? All right, and cashless transactions, robo advisors, virtual cards, etc.